Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Diablo 3. My name is Wilfred. So in this episode, I'm going to play a little bit of the wizard together with my wife, and we're still pretty early in our season. I'm pretty sure we'll get advanced into a higher rift in no time. But just a little bit of talking about what we have experienced so far, and both of us have just got the whole complete set of Via together with the supporting gear. So it's pretty awesome. It's pretty fun, and I think we could do a little bit higher rift as well, as you will see, how we play. But we wanted to just level up some gems, and there's no point in risking to die and lose one chance to level up a gem, especially when we are still at the early stage. So we are quite moderate, not that ambitious this tonight, just to play a little bit of 65 rank, 67 rank to go through. But I think we should be able to push for at least a 75 as a solo in due course, which is, by the way, one of the conquests as well. So now we've been playing the season since season 11. Necromancer DLC, I believe, was out then, and we have been playing non-stop for all the seasons so far. Now this season is a season of Trion, and while the mechanic itself I'm not really a huge fan, because I ignore it most of the time due to the fact that in Greater Rift there's so many nonsense going around, and you have to be pretty mobile, and you can't sometimes afford to just stand at where the circle spawned for this season. So by and large we ignore the mechanic, but we have a lot of fun with the wizard. This is the second time I play a wizard in a season. The first time it was back in I think 4 seasons ago, if I'm not wrong. They always rotate within the set. It was the same DN mode set as well, which I hated, and I still do hate it. I think last time I played the Firebird, my wife played the I think she played the Firebird, if not Archon. I can't quite remember which one did she play. But we had a lot of fun with the wizard, and with the upgrade or buff, shall I say, with the Chantondo set, that makes the Archon build a lot more awesome. So this video is all about Archon, just to demonstrate how it works, and just to also demonstrate it is really better when you have two Archon playing together, because when you play Archon, there are two different kind of phases. The first phase is when you see the wizard transform into this kind of purple kind of being, and it's very awesome. During the time enemy that you kill will gain a buff that will further increase your damage output as well as damage reduction, so that make your Archon even more awesome. But they only run for a certain amount of time. You can see the counter there below, coming up to 112, 100 and whatever, depending on mob density as well. But all in all, it get really good, and with the right gear like the Swami, you could retain this buff for a number of seconds. So the second phase is when the wizard go back to the original form, human form, which without the right gear is pretty not awesome at all. You can hardly kill anything. I think even with the right gear, it's also quite hard to kill anything. But at least it does give you the protection. If you have a high buff, like right now it's 145 stacks, 150 stacks, you could get into pretty decent kind of a damage mitigation as well as damage output, even when you are not in Archon mode. Now, how it works for 2-person, why I make it fun for 2-person, of course, is that when we play together, we don't have to pop the Archon together. We could coordinate. For example, in the beginning of the dungeon, sometimes it's dangerous, sometimes it's not. So if it is not dangerous, we'll use the non-human form to try to build up 20 stacks of buff that will further buff the Archon mode. But if there are some danger around, meaning that if we don't neutralize our enemies soon, that may end up with unpleasant death here and there. So what we'll do is that I will go first as the Archon, and then my wife will then still maintain as a human form, try to get the buff, which is the 20 stack of buff. So that is essentially what we are trying to do. Now right now my Archon is naturally not that powerful. I only have 2 stat of buff instead of 20 stat, so you can see that I do struggle a fair bit, but then at least they give my wife a little bit of opportunity to gain 20 buff for her Archon to be awesome. And when she is in her Archon, and when I came up from the Archon mode, I could, you know, try to build stat to 20. Like right now it's 16 stats, you know, and I push into whatever. So it does give kind of like, you know, support to each other. Although, you know, both of us in Archon, we don't have to pop the Archon at the same time. And then when the map become more manageable, because once you build up the stat as an Archon, and if you get a pretty high stat and then you can return to human form, you can survive quite a fair bit of damage, as well as build the next 20 stat for your next Archon. So sometimes me and my wife will find that the map is favorable to us, and we will say let's do it. So she will take one wing of the map, I'll take another wing of the map, and then make the things a lot easier. By the way, right now I'm building stat, as you can see, 13 stat and so on. So with the black hole, by the way, you can build stat quite fast. Now at 20 stat, and I can pop into Archon, become more powerful. So a little bit of coordination, a little bit of like working together as a team. Although we are both an Archon, both a wizard, there are opportunity to play together, to be awesome. So that is essentially what we are trying to do, and why is it so fun. Now, you know, initially I thought that the Archon mode, Archon kind of like play style for the VR set would be rather glass cannon, but I think at least at this level it is not so, because I played Necromancer last season. Necromancer was also very powerful, at least the build I played, which is the LM build for the Skeleton Mage. It was really powerful, but the you know, I didn't enjoy the kind of like a glass cannon thing. So I thought maybe I should stay with the DMO set, because DMO is more known to be durable. You control the enemy through the slow time. You can deflect all the projectile back to the original caster as well. So I thought I would have to stick with the DMO to do a little bit of tanky character. But the Via set, which is the Archon, surprisingly is really durable so far, so long as you have the right gear. And there are some gear that are very important as well. You can't even miss one of them. So I think, namely, for example, the belt is important, which is the Valzula's improbable chain, which I will do another video once I get to the end game. Then the Halo of Karini is very important as well for the for reduction of damage, and then most importantly is the Swami is very important as well, so as to make sure that I can survive when I'm out of Archon. Of course, there are a whole bunch of other things that is a must-have, basically. So I struggle a lot initially. I've done a lot of crafting, trying to get the right gear, and you know, did a lot of like riff and so on and so forth. My last item trying to collect was a Swami, and without that, basically become very fragile when you're out of Archon mode. Interestingly, today when I play it, tonight actually, 2 of them drop, one of them from Cadella. So you know, sometimes it does happen, and when it happens, it's like happen at the same time. So yeah, now this is going to be the last run. I didn't do too much editing because I want to show you how it works for this Archon even after it's out of Archon mode. So it's a little bit of like just floating around, teleport around. There are a few ability, but you know, at this level, because it's so easy, I just spam the AoE and just, you know, make sure my slow time is on. But other than that, you know, just trying to build stat. Like the first buff here is 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20. Then then I go back and turn to Archon and start to build another stat, which is like 88 and, you know, whatever, you know, so on and so forth. So it's a fun time. It's a fun time. I like it a lot, and I'll definitely make another video once we get into more of the end game, tackling higher rift. Perhaps team up with my friend Dupe as well. He's doing a Demon Hunter this season, so it should be rather fun. Season journey wise, I think you know, I think the hardest one is probably the set dungeon, and I've got it sorted with the DMO set. You can check out to, you know, another video I put in on the guide to DMO. My wife has done the Via set as well. According to her, it's not that hard either. So I think if you play a wizard, you know, if you struggle with the DMO set, which is this season set, you could try out the Via as well, because I know, after all, Via set is potentially one of the best kind of like a build you have today, and it's really super fun. Alright, so I will talk to you again, and good luck with your season journey. I'm hoping to be able to at least do a couple of conquests before the season and get the Guardian kind of status. Alright, and as always, you can drop me a comments below. Do you have any comment, any thought about this Archon build, any question on the Via set and so on? I'm more than happy to show you or you know, what I've learned. And as always, I always take in your comment as well, and I may, you know, change my build here and there. But I'm open for idea. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.